part 3 of what if Madara was Naruto reincarnation, or what if Naruto was Madara's reincarnation. We left off where, sorry that I had to, that left like that. It wasn't mature of me to leave like that, in that popular manner. So we shall go on from where we left off. We left off where Madara says, "Come on, Naruto," as Sasuke, Kiyomi and as Kiyomi and Sasuke is arguing about how Itachi killed the village or killed their outer clan. And Naruto, he goes with Madara and he says, "Yes, Dad, what is it?" And Madara says, "Listen here, son. There's legend, or there's a prophecy that I'll die." And he says, "What do you mean you'll die?" And he says, "Listen." He says, "I'll die, but you'll become stronger." And he says, "I'll give you my eyes." And he says, "I don't want your eyes. I want you to be here." And he says, Naruto says, "What if," well, he says, "I'm just gonna be lonely again." And Madara says, "No, you have Kiyomi and Sasuke." And he says, I don't love them like I love you." And he goes in Madara's, like he goes to hug Madara, and Madara says, "It's okay." He says, "It's okay, but my time is done here." And he says, "Why?" And he said, "That's just how the prophecy, or that's just how the universe made it." And Naruto says, when will you be dying?" And he says, "Probably this week." And Naruto says, "Why?" And Madara is like, "Son, it's okay." And Naruto says, "No, I'll be lonely again." And he starts getting on his knees and crying. He says, please don't leave me." And Madara says, "Get up." And Naruto, he just crying on the ground, saying, "Get up." And he's saying, "Please don't leave me," and stuff like that. And basically, Madara, Kiyomi and Sasuke hears Naruto crying, and they're about to knock on the door. And they see, or they like hear Naruto saying, why do you have to die?" And Naruto says, "Can I make a shadow clone or something?" And Madara chuckles and says, "No, I'll be dead forever." And Naruto opens his eyes and says, "Why? Why? It's not fair." And he stands up and he says, "Who made this prophecy?" Well, he's crying. He says, "Who made the prophecy?" And Madara says, "The Otsutsuki King." And Naruto says, "Thanks." Naruto says that. Madara says, Why did you want to know that?" And Naruto says, "I want to kill him." And after he says, "I want to kill him," Madara says, "You can't kill him. He's the strongest being in the universe." And Naruto says, after he says, "I want to kill him," Madara says, "Son, you have to calm down." And he says, "How the hell can I be calm when my only father figure that I cared for died?" And he said, and after he says that, he's like, why? should have been me. And he says, I'll kill him for it. And there, Kiyomi's about to knock on her door and ask him if Naruto's okay. And Naruto barges at the room. And Madara says, stop, Naruto. And he jumped in front of Naruto. And Naruto says, move. And Madara says, you can't do that. He's too powerful for you. Or he's too strong for you. And Naruto said, I don't care. And and Kiyomi and Sasuke like, what's going on? And Madara, he's getting like weaker by the week. And he healed out on Sunday. He's getting weaker. It's Monday. He's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. But right now, he's at his full strength. Or he's like below his full strength. I'd say he's at 80% of his full strength. And he says, no, I think he says you can't, he's too powerful. And Naruto, he body flickers past, Madara says, I don't care. And he just disappears after that. And then after that, Naruto, he, Madara says, what, Kiyomi says, not Madara, what happened? And Madara said, he looks at Kiyomi and he says, it's difficult to say, but Naruto, he's going to kill someone. And Kiyomi says, okay, he's done it before, but what's the big deal? And he says, he's angry at a particular someone. And he looks up at the moon. Madara walks outside and he says, Kiyomi, come with me. And he looks up at the moon and he says, there, I don't know if the Akatsuki are up on the moon, but I'm gonna just say they like somewhere up on the moon. And the moon is like Earth. Yeah. He looks up on the moon and he says, the Otsutsuki king is there. And he is written in a prophecy that I'll die by the end of this week. And Kiyomi says, why? And Madara says, that's just the way he made it. And Kiyomi says, I understand. As tears coming out of her eyes. And and Sasuke, look, he don't know where we left off, but I think Madara and Kiyomi do it. And then he says, but Naruto, he's gonna he's gonna try to kill the Otsutsuki king. And Kiyomi says, what? And he says, yeah. And they see a big old explosion in the, like outside. Or like they hear an explosion and they rush outside. Or they like start searching and they body flicker and they see Naruto trying to Rasengan. Basically they see Naruto trying to Rasengan himself up to the moon. And he's just wasting all his chakra. And he falls back down. He's on his back and he's shaking. And he gets back up. And Kiyomi rushes over there. She's rushing over there. And she says, Naruto, stop. And Naruto, he gets the Naruto's chakra. And he says, Vermilion Rasengan. And he blows himself up. And then he gets up. Not to the moon, but like to the barrier where you can't breathe. And he said, oh. And he falls all the way down on his back. But he's like breaking trees, branches while he's falling down. He's breaking stuff. And basically and basically he fell on his back. Like he got like twigs in his body, sticks, leaves. He got a tree trunk going through his stomach, and what's it called? And basically he has a tree trunk or like a tree branch going through his chest, and it's like 2 inches away from his heart, and he falls down unconscious, and Madara says, "No, Naruto!" He body flickers over there faster than Kiyomi can. Kiyomi, she's running over there, and Kiyomi, before she can get to Naruto, Madara gets there. He picks him up and says, "I shouldn't have told you that." He says, "I shouldn't have told you that." And he starts crying. And he says, "Naruto, please don't die. Please." And he says, this isn't your fate. You don't deserve to die yet." And basically, Naruto, he opens his eyes, and Kiyomi ran over there. She pushed Madara out the way. She brung Naruto, and Naruto, he says, "Kill me. If I die here, just know that and he passes out. I think they were dating. I don't know for sure. Yeah, they were dating. Yeah, I remember. And she says, "You what, Naruto? Tell me." And he passes out. And she says, "Naruto, wake up." And Madara says, "Kill me. We have to get him. You have to get him medical attention." So basically, they go to the doctor, or they rush to the doctor, and they see what was like when Naruto, they went to the leaf, and they see that Naruto is got all that stuff in him, and they hurry up and rush him to the medical room. And basically, after they rush him to the medical room, Naruto, they put him in a sleep gas, or sleep, so he wouldn't wake up. And basically, Naruto, they started surgery on him, took everything out, and yeah, and what else? And I'm gonna say that surgery took like 8 hours. Yeah. Well, no, 2 hours. Took a 2-hour surgery. And Naruto says, well, he doesn't say anything, as he's in a coma. He's in a comatose state. And then Naruto, not Naruto, Kiyomi, she says, "Can I see Naruto?" And he says, he says, "Yeah." And doctor says, "Yeah." So she rushes in there, and she says, "What's wrong with him?" And they say, "I'm sorry, but Naruto, he says, "I'm sorry, but he's in a coma." And Kiyomi widens her eyes and says, "What? No, Naruto." And she kisses him and says, "Wake up." And she keeps kissing him and says, "Wake up, wake up." And basically, Naruto, I'm gonna say he's in a coma, but he can hear and feel stuff, but he just can't move his body. And he starts coming out his eye. Or nah, bunk all that. Naruto, he tries to move, but he can't. He tries to keep getting up, but he can't. And basically Naruto, well, not Naruto, but what should I call it? Naruto, he went into his mindscape, and he went. What am I doing? He went into his mindscape and he saw. Basically, he saw the nine-tailed fox, and he saw a figure. He saw not the nine-tailed fox, and he saw 8 other tailed beasts. And he widened his eyes. And he says, "Who are you?" He says, "Kurama, who are these people?" And Kurama says, "These are my brothers. Shikaku, and whatever the other ones are." And basically, yeah. Basically, then he sees the old man or a super white man. Hey, no racism though. He sees. I ain't even gonna do it. He sees the Otsutsuki. I ain't trying to get racially striked. He sees the Otsutsuki. And he says, "You must be the king." And the Sage of Six Paths says, "No." He says, "No, I am not." And Naruto rushes him. And he says, "Yeah, you are. You're gonna kill my dad." And he keeps rushing. And Sage of Six Paths says, "Calm down, boy." And he dunks Naruto on the head. And Naruto falls back. He falls all the way back into his mind. He just falls back into his mindscape. He's in his mindscape, but in his mindscape he's falling in the darkness. You know how stuff like Suri? Basically just falling in it. Yeah. So basically Naruto, or the Nine-Tails says master, or it says dad, you're doing a little bit too much. You don't want to kill him. He says whatever happens to him in here happens to him in his other body too. Or in his main body too. And the Sage of Six Paths says, "Sorry, Kurama. Seems like this boy means a lot to you." And Kurama says, "No, he doesn't." And Shikaku says, looks like Shikaku says, "It's okay, brother. You don't have to it's okay, brother. You can accept it." And Naruto, not Naruto, but what's his name? Not Naruto. Kurama. Oh no, 66 Paths. It says Shikaku. It's alright. Just let him think what he wants to. And basically, Kurama, he's like, Dylan loves that boy. But he really does. And he says, Sage of Six Paths says, "Kurama, it's okay to show affection sometimes." And he pats him on the forehead. And Kurama says, "Get away from me." Well, he doesn't say get away from me. He says, "Yeah, whatever." And basically, they see we're outside his body now. They see a red mark on his forehead. And Kiyomi says, "Doctor, what is this?" And the doctor says, "It looks like he's in his mindscape. Whatever happens to him in there, whatever damages him in there, damages him out here." And Kiyomi says, "What?" And she kisses Naruto's forehead. And basically, after she kisses Naruto's forehead, the wound, it heals. Or it I'm gonna say she kisses Naruto's forehead. It says, just don't keep me waiting." And Sasuke, and she gets in the bed with Naruto. And she's about to get in the bed with Naruto. And the doctor says, "Mom, I can't allow you to do that." And she says, "I don't care." She says, "I don't care. You're gonna let me." With her shining eye active. And and she's like, "Oh yeah, you can get in the bed." She says, "No problem. Sorry bothering you." And the doctor walks up the room. And she says, "Why?" all Uchiha has to do is abuse their power for people to get scary, to get scared. And she says, kill me. You have to kill me. Kill me, just snuggling Naruto and says, wake up, Naruto, please. Please for me. And she sleeps there. Well, she falls asleep. And Naruto, he's like, Naruto says, okay, save your six packs. After he just got done talking to him about clearing up the Otsutsuki King and how he's someone he's someone who keeps Otsutsuki in their place and humans. And Naruto says, why are these tailed beasts with me? Or why are these tailed beasts in my mindscape? And Sage Six Paths. Sage Six Paths says, well, because they belong to you now. He says, and whatchamacallit, Shikaku says, I don't belong to anyone. And and Six Paths or slaps Ski, or he hits him on the head with a wooden staff, or with his staff, whatever he has. And he says, you do now. And he says, Naruto. He looks him in the eyes. He says, I shall give you all of my power, for I am dying. And they already knew he was dying. He says, well, look like it's time. And they'll kiss him, or like lick him. And he says, this should be enough for you to take on the Otsutsuki King. Basically after he says the Otsutsuki King, Naruto says, thank you. Thank you, Sage of Six Paths, as he bows to him. And Sage of Six Paths says, you don't have to bow to me, boy. And he says, I do, you're gonna help me. And basically Sage of Six, or Naruto, we like time skip a couple hours in there. And basically every hour in there every 3 weeks is a year. Every 3 weeks in the his mindscape is a year in the outside world. So basically Naruto, he spends 9 weeks in there. And Kiyomi, actually no. Yeah, he spends 9 weeks in there. And I think Kiyomi Kiyomi, I think I said they was 13, so they 16 now. Basically, yeah. And he's in there, he's training and stuff like that. For the whole 3. Actually, I think I said there was 13. Bringing that age out to 12, big fella. He was there for 9 weeks. So there's 3, 6, 9. That's 3 years. He was on the outside world. So bring it back. He wakes up. Kiyomi sees Kiyomi laying with him, and she lays with him half of that time. The other half, she lay with him every other week, or every week, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She lay with him, and basically, basically, no way. Basically, he sees, he wakes up and he sees Kiyomi, hugging him. It says, Naruto, I know you're gonna wake up soon. I have something to tell you today. And she says, me and Sasuke unlocked the new Sharingan. And she said, she said, but she says, I know you're gonna be probably disappointed in me when you wake up, but I really haven't grown. Or she says, I really haven't, like she grown, her body wise is grown, but she says, I really haven't grown in strength wise. She says, I really haven't grown in strength wise, and I'm sorry. I know you'd be disappointed, Naruto. And Naruto, he pats her forward and says, no, I'm happy the way I'm happy the way that you are. And she says, she said, huh? And she sees Naruto smiling at her, and she gets on top of him and hugs him, starts kissing him. And Naruto says, kill me. We're still in the hospital. She says, I don't care. And yeah, she says, I don't care. And she just keeps kissing him. And Naruto's like, oh. Okay, oh. And basically, not Naruto. But basically, what's it gonna call it? Kiyomi. She's like, yes, Naruto. And Naruto, he's like, Kiyomi, your he says your boobs are pressing up against me. And she says, I don't care. And Naruto like, I don't care either. So he starts kissing back. And Kiyomi's like, yes. Kiyomi says, yes. She says, yes, Naruto. She said, yes, Naruto. And basically, Kiyomi, basically Kiyomi, basically they were just making out for the longest. And yeah. And then the doctor walked in and seeing her kissing Naruto. And she said, ma'am, we're going to need you to get out immediately. You have to run some tests on him. And she said, you can run tests on her mom here. I don't want to leave him again. And the doctor says, I understand, ma'am. The doctor says, I understand, ma'am, but that's not a part of her policy. And she says, I don't care. And Naruto looks her in the eyes. Or Naruto grabs her cheek and says, it's okay, Kiyomi. He says, it's okay, Kiyomi. Just leave me here. They won't hurt me. I'm sure of it. And basically he's just chilling. Well, no, he's not chilling. They grab his finger and get his blood and stuff like that, run some tests. Everything come back normal, so they let him go. And bro, what is this pig? I ain't gonna say that. They let him go. And basically, yeah. So after they let him go, Kiyomi, she like notified Sasuke. That's really his only friend. He notified Sasuke. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think Jiraiya died. But yeah. I don't think he. Oh, I don't even know. I'm gonna say she notified Sasuke. And yeah, it's called Sasuke. Call Sasuke. And Sasuke pop up. He body flicker over there. And he says, he sees Naruto and Kiyomi kissing. And he says, yeah. He says, as the usual. And Naruto chuckles and says, he says, Sasuke, I haven't been on a 3 years, or I've been in a coma for 3 years. And he grabs her waist and he says, I need some alone time. And Sasuke says, you might be, you might be a boyfriend, but that doesn't mean you guys can have sex yet. And Naruto, he looks at Sasuke, he just smiles. And Sasuke says, why are you smiling? And Sasuke says, what are you smiling for? And Naruto, he just looks out like Yumi. And he hugs her. And Sasuke, he says, I miss you, man. He walks over there and he hugs. Cause he lucky, he just trying to separate, Sasuke, Naruto and Kiyomi. Cause he wanna wait till they at least either they married or at least 20 some years old. And basically Sasuke, he goes in there to break up the hug and he tries to hug in there. And Naruto just hugs him on the side. There's Kiyomi. And basically, yeah, they just, I guess they just, they just hugged. They just hugged, yeah, they hugged each other. And basically Naruto says, Kiyomi, I miss you. And he grabs her butt. And she doesn't care. And she, I think they were 12 or 15. He says, she's like, she don't care. And she puts his hand tighter around her. And Sasuke, he says, I miss you too, Kiyomi. And he hugs Kiyomi, trying to separate Naruto from touching her butt. And basically Naruto, he just, he says, what are you doing, Sasuke? And so is Kiyomi. No, Kiyomi says, what are you doing, Sasuke? And he says, what are you talking about? And he says, we were just talking yesterday. And he says, I know, I've just missed you a lot. And he's like, Sasuke, no, not Sasuke. Naruto is like, just let him do him. And so basically, he says, Kiyomi, let's go home. And she said she's afraid that Naruto do the same thing again if he finds out like Madara died. And he says, and he's forgot about Madara. He don't think he's dead. He says, Naruto says, I can't wait to meet my dad again. And he's just chuckling. And Kiyomi says, Naruto, Kiyomi says Naruto, and Sasuke taps her shoulder, and says, and he said, it's better if he knows now. And she says, Naruto says, knows what? And she says, nothing. Naruto come. And basically Naruto says, he says, well, okay, whatever you say. And basically he after he says whatever you say, he basically just walking back to the crib. And yeah, so we got back to the crib. He said, Dad, I'm home. And he sees a grave. And he says, who's that for? And he goes up to it. And Kiyomi, or she says, who's that for? And Kiyomi says, Naruto, let's just go in the house. And Naruto says, okay. And basically Naruto, he says, I wonder who that grave was for. And he says, Dad, I'm home. And after he says, Dad, I'm home, basically, what's his name? Sasuke says, Madara's on a mission right now. And basically, after he says Madara's on a mission right now, he says, oh, okay. He says, Kiyomi, I have a question. And he says, yeah. She says, how did I get in a coma? And she don't want to tell him. And Sasuke says, you might as well tell him, Kiyomi. He's catching along. And he says, catching along to what? What happened? And she says, Naruto, I'm sorry, but I didn't want to tell you because I'm afraid you're gonna go into the coma again. And she says, Madara's dead. And Naruto eyes, it goes blank, like there's no pupil. And he falls down gasping because he just lost his emotion. He goes on gasping and he says, and then she says, I'm sorry, Naruto. And she looks Naruto in his eyes and she sees he has no pupil. And she says, Naruto, are you okay? And he says, yeah, I'm fine. He says, yeah, I'm fine. Kill me. And basically, she says, okay. And then he says, I understand why you didn't tell me. And she says, thank you. And he looks at Sasuke and he says, when did this happen? And Sasuke says, it happened while you were in a coma Sunday. And he says, who's responsible? And Kiyomi says, she doesn't know what to say. So she says, me. I was responsible. I was getting attacked, and Naruto looked at her with Naruto's chakra eyes. And he says, I need a minute. And she's scared, and she says, what was this? After Naruto leaves the room, she looks at Sasuke, and she says, Sasuke, what was I supposed to say? And she says, Sasuke says, it's okay, Kiyomi. He'll have to find out that it wasn't you. And basically Naruto, he says, Kiyomi. He walks back in and says, Kiyomi, we can't be together anymore. And she widens her eyes and says, why, Naruto? Why? And he says, because you killed the man, or he says, the man that was the only froggy figure that I had, you got yourself in danger and you killed him. And Sasuke sensing bloodlust off of him. And Kiyomi does too. And she's crying. She's scared. She says, Naruto, calm down. Please. She says, shut up. Shut up. And he says, we're over. He slams the door. And he says, can't believe I did it. And basically, Kiyomi or Naruto says, kid, or they all say kid. She's lying. She didn't kill, or she wasn't in danger when Madara died. He died by himself. And Kiyomi says, he forgot about the first one. he says, kill me. He says, remember, kid, when you first got into here, and he says, shut up, Nine Tails. Or he says, shut up, you beast. Or you tailed beast. And they all shut up. And he says, not the Kurama speaks and says, Naruto. And he says, shut up. And basically, he says, I have no one left. No one. And he says, they all say, you have us, Naruto. And he says, no, I have no one. And he walks back in the house, and she says, Naruto, and he says, shh. He doesn't say anything. He grabs a kunai. She grabs a kunai. And after she grabs the kunai, he grabs the kunai, and she says, Naruto, what are you doing with that? And he says, what does it look like? I'm ending my life. And he says, like, she like waters her eyes, and still to Sasuke. And she said, but why, Naruto, why? And she runs and hugs him. And he says, and she says, not know it.
Never use Ziploc bags again with this clever new invention.
Wait.
The product was created by an award-winning chef.
Alright.
She was tired of expensive ingredients spoiling. So she decided to join a star product design.
Yeah, I got it. So she hugs Naruto and she says, Naruto, wait. Why are you killing yourself? And Naruto says, because I have no one left. No one. And she says, but you have me, Naruto, please. And he says, no, killed him. And Madara's spirit pops up and it flicks Naruto's on the head. And he says, Naruto, his eyes widen. And he says, Madara says, listen here, boy. She didn't kill me. I died on my own. And after she says that, like, she didn't kill him. Naruto widens his eyes and says, she did. She just said it. And says, why are you protecting her? And Madara says, listen, boy. As he smacks him and he falls down. And Naruto's angry. And he says, don't hit me. And he says, after he says, calm down. After he says, calm down, basically, Naruto, he gets up and he's angry as heck. And he says, why'd you hit me? And Madara, he says, don't you talk to your father like that. And Madara says, sorry. Naruto says, sorry. And basically, he says, Naruto, listen to me. And he says, what is it? What? And he says, this is gonna be hard to explain. But wow. He says, while you were dead, well, before you went into your coma, we talked about this. And he said, what do you mean? And he says, he says, you must have forgot. And basically, Naruto says, forgot what? And Madara says, talk to me like that again and I'll show you who's boss. And he says, sorry. And basically, he says, basically Naruto says, I'm sorry, I'm just angry. And he hugs him and says, it's okay. He says, this probably won't make much sense, but Kiyomi didn't kill me. And he said, who did? And he says the Otsutsuki king did. And he says, how did he kill you? And he says, well, he didn't kill me, but he did. He wrote the prophecy, and in the prophecy, I die. Naruto widens his eyes, and he says, it's him, huh? And Madara says, no, you're not strong enough to take him on. And he says, I'm strong enough. I have to say the 6th pass power and all the tail beasts. That should be easily enough power to defeat him. And Madara widens his eyes and says, you met the Sage of 6 paths. And Naruto says, yeah, why? And he says, kid, he says, listen here, my son. I have great faith in you. And he says, you will win. And he hugs him. He says, I don't have much time. I don't have much time left. But just know I love you. And he says, after he says, I love you, Naruto cries and says, don't leave me again. Don't leave me. And after he said, don't leave me again, he says, I won't have anyone else. He says, I don't have anyone else. Anyone. And he says, who cares about me? No one. And he says, no one cares for me. And Kiyomi says, but Naruto, and he says, shut up. Well, he didn't say shut up. He didn't say anything. Well, I would say she says it under her breath. And he doesn't hear. And he says, I broke up with the girl I love, or supposedly love. And she says, Naruto, what does that mean? And he says, I don't know. And then, what's her name? Madara says, calm down. Just know I love you. And he kisses him on his forehead. And, after he kisses him on his forehead, Naruto, he says, or I'm gonna say that I don't know, man. I'm just saying, I don't know. He just says thanks. Well, don't say no thanks. He just, I don't know. He just cries some more. Yeah, he cries some more. And basically, Kiyomi walks up to Naruto and says, Naruto, are we still? And he says, I don't know, Kiyomi. I don't know. And she says, if you don't love me, it's fine. And he says, I don't know what to say. And she says, Naruto says, what do I say? And he says, Kiyomi, I love you. He says, oh, sorry, sorry you can't hear me. He says, kill me, I love you. It's just that I'm very angry right now. And I need to go take my anger on someone or something. And basically Naruto, he goes to the village. Or he goes to the Hidden Leaf village. And he spawns some clones, and he's like, you're gonna die. And he smiles while he's saying you're gonna die. And basically Naruto, as he says you're gonna die, Naruto's basically like charging up a tail beast bomb, and somebody says, what is that? And Tsunade walks to the, and Ambu says, he says, what's that? He says, something suspicious. Let's go to the Hokage. He goes to the Hokage, he says, Hokage, there's something suspicious outside. And the Hokage walks outside and says, what is it? And she looks and she says, that's Naruto. And she says, what is he doing? And she sees him charging up a tail beast bomb at the village. And he shoots it. And, she uses all her, like, healing stuff and says, I'm out of here. Or he uses all his healing stuff. And God says, ultimate defense. We're gonna say God there. God says, ultimate defense. And, or whatever he say. And basically, I think he says ultimate defense. And it got through his ultimate defense, but it, like, nerfed it, like, 90%. And it destroyed most of the village. It destroyed, like, Pain. Yeah, Pain. Like, Pain did the village. That's how much it destroyed it. And basically Naruto, he says, he's like, so I haven't been making videos and I'm kind of stuck. But basically Naruto basically says, die, as she's laughing maniacally. And we're gonna say that Kiyomi, like, just walking around, and she sees Naruto's in the air, and she says, Naruto, and she sees him not laughing maniacally, and after she sees him laughing maniacally, basically she says, what is he doing? He's like, what is he doing? And she like says Naruto, and Naruto, he body flickers down there and says, what is it, kill me? And she said, I just wanted to see what you were doing. And she's kind of like jumping, or like kind of like moving, because she doesn't know. After she's moving, she doesn't know. Yeah, like, she doesn't know what to say. She says, how did you take your anger out? And he says, I destroyed that bastful base of a village. And he says, the other ones will be next. Then I'm killing everyone in this whole entire world. And what's her name? Kiyomi widens her eyes and says, Naruto, you can't do that. And he says, I can do whatever I want. And he says, what would Madara think of this? And he says, Madara's dead. And she like widens her eyes, says, Naruto, what have you become? And he says, they did say I'm a demon after all, huh? I guess that's what I am. And basically, Naruto, he says, that's what I am. She just, are you really gonna let people's words overtake you like that? And he says, no, kill me. He says, no, kill me. Well, he says, kill me. I don't care about anything anymore in this life. And basically, she says, what about me? And he says, I'm still deciding on that. And she widens her eyes and she starts crying. And she says, after she says, starts crying. Oh, she starts like tearing up, and she says, "You don't love me." And he grabs her waist and pulls her in. Oh, he does this. He says, "I love you," like what Izuku is doing to Momo, or whoever. Yeah, Izuku is doing to Momo. Yeah, he said he's doing that, and he says, "I love you." She said, "I'm very angry now," and she's crying in his chest. And he said, "Stop crying, I'm here." He said, "Stop crying, I'm here." And basically, basically Naruto, he's just like, he told her to stop crying. And she can't stop crying. And he lifts her face up and kisses her. Says, "Kill me, I love you. I don't want to see you sad." And she stops crying. And he says, "I want to show the world, okay?" As his eyes turn back blue, she sees this, but they're still like, he's still emotionless. But, God. His eyes are still blue. But he's still emotionless, because he has no pupil. And basically, she looks at him, or she looks at Naruto, and she says, "You're still emotionless," or it's like she says it under her breath, "You're still emotionless." And Naruto says, "I know, I'm sorry, kill me." And she says, "How did you hear me?" And he says, "I have all the tail beasts now, and everything for me is basically like prime 10, my speed, stamina, everything like that." And she said, "Oh." And she said, "Naruto, promise me that you'll get better." And he said, "Oh." And she said, "Promise me." And Naruto said, he said, "I can't do that, kill me, but I'll try." And she said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Okay, Naruto." And basically, Naruto, let's see what he does. He picks her up and she blushes. She says, "Naruto, what are you doing?" And they're 15, they're 15. I'm gonna say Naruto, he got past, it's been 2 weeks. He's got past Madara's murder, and he didn't go out, he stopped going out killing people. And Naruto's name has been like heard around the world, that he's the boy that destroyed a whole village. He's the kid who destroyed a village, or destroyed half a village by himself. And he killed multiple high rank elite Guinea And we gonna say they still got their tail beast, but like everybody still got their tail beast, but we'll say everybody but Gara. Or everybody got their tail beast. Wait, Gara has his tail beast, but like he has half of it. Like if this makes sense, they both have, it's like 2 one tails. Naruto has one and Shikaku, and Gara has one. But all the other ones, they just came to Naruto, so the other people died. Yeah, I really don't feel like giving them a lie. Even Killer B. Sorry for all them Killer B fans out there. So basically, Naruto, he's like, he's sitting in his bed, and he wakes up. He wakes up to Kiyomi, laying on him. I forgot what we left out, but I think Naruto, he stopped killing. He stopped. But I think I left off where he stopped killing people and his name was No. But basically, so Kiyomi walks in her room and she says, hey Naruto, come. And he smiles with a bright grin. And he has his emotion back. And she sees this. And she said, she sees this and she turns to him and she hugs him. Like, she puts her titties in his face while she hugs him. And basically, Naruto's like, kill me. Wait, nah, he don't do all that. He puts his face deeper and she blushed. Naruto, he grabbed her waist and he lay on the bed. He started kissing her. He took off his shirt. And then Sasuke knocks on the door. And Naruto says, just a minute. He says, just a minute. And basically, after he says, just a minute, Sasuke, he knocks on him again. He says, Naruto, open up. And he says, hold on, I'm trying to use the restroom. And Naruto, he takes off his shirt. Kiyomi takes off her shirt. He takes off her shirt and he starts sucking her her breast. And basically, Sasuke says, Naruto, it doesn't take that long to use the restroom. And basically, Naruto, he says, sorry Sasuke, I'm taking her number 2. And he hears a moan. And he says, who else is in there with you? And he says, bro, I was in a coma for 3 years. Let me watch my, he says, I'm trying to have some alone time here. And Sasuke, he's like, whoa, okay. And he's about to leave till he hear Kiyomi say Naruto. He hears say Naruto. And basically, after she says Naruto, Sasuke says, he said, wait a minute. He says, Kiyomi, are you in there? And Kiyomi says, she don't say shit. Yeah, she don't say nothing. And then basically Naruto, he's like, kissing Kiyomi. He says, shh. And he takes off his pants. And then he pulls down her pants. And he starts kissing her. And he starts going down and down. And Sasuke kicks open the door. They're like under the cover doing this. Sasuke kicks open the door. And he sees a figure on Kiyomi. He knows this is Naruto. And Kiyomi said, Sasuke, why are you here? He says, Sasuke, why are you in here? And Kiyomi says, Naruto, he's like, Sasuke's here. And basically, basically Naruto. Basically Naruto, he's like Naruto's basically he like picks up from the cover and he sees Sasuke looking at him. He sees Sasuke looking at him and Naruto he says, unless you want to see your sister naked, you might want to get out. And Sasuke says, I don't care about that. You're not having sex until you're 20 years old or until you're married. And Naruto he says, okay. And he says, sorry Sasuke. He says, sorry Sasuke. And Sasuke says, yeah. He says, yeah, whatever. And he puts his clothes back on. He puts his clothes back on, yeah. And then she puts her clothes back on. And basically she says, after she says, I can't wait till we get married. Naruto do the time skip. Naruto he had like 80 bands. Nah, he had 70 bands. Not 7,000, but 70,000. Then he went to the. He just went to the He went to the what's it called? He went to the jewelry store, got a ring. That old diamond boy. And then he says, it's all like that. And basically after he says that, Naruto, he says, looks like we're about to have sex today. And he says, he walks with his hand in his pocket. And yeah, he walking with his hand in his pocket. Basically, Naruto, after he's walking with his hand in his pocket, basically Naruto, he says, like with the not hand in his pocket, with the what's it called? What's it called? His ring. Yeah, he has his ring in his pocket. And basically Naruto, he's like, yes, I can't wait till I get home. He knocks on the door. And after he knocks on the door, then basically he sees we didn't see none. He just walk in there, or yeah, he walk in there. I lock the door, knock on Kiyomi's door, well on his door, cause Kiyomi be sleeping here most of the time, and she opens the door. Says, yes, Naruto, and he says, I have something I want to give you, and he says, I want Sasuke to see this too. And she says, okay. And basically, he just says, it's okay. Or she says, why do you want Sasuke to see this? He says, it's okay. You'll see. And she says, okay. And basically they call Sasuke in there. And Sasuke says, what do you want, you nerd? Or what do you want, you dweeb? And he says, I want you to see something. And he said, and Sasuke says, well, yeah, well, show me. He pulls out a ring box from his pocket. He gets on one knee. It looks like Kiyomi. It says, Kiyomi, will you marry me? And Kiyomi says, yes, Naruto. And she puts her titties in. She puts her breast in his face again. And basically, after she put her breast in his face, Naruto he like pulls back deeper, and he looks at Sasuke and says, "You know what this means, Sasuke, right?" And he says, "Looks like I can't stop you now." And he leaves the room, and not 18 plus scene, and Naruto picks her up. And he lays her on the bed, and she takes off his shirt, and Naruto takes off her shirt. Then they start kissing, and kissing. And he says, "Naruto, I love you." And he says, "I love you too, kill me." And they take off their pants. Naruto slip it in. Boom! Nah, that's too simple. That's way too simple. Naruto take down his pants. Then she takes down. Then he takes off her pants. She's like covering her legs because she's like kind of embarrassed. And basically Naruto said, "Naruto, you wanna make him more relaxed." So he got that doink on. Nah. He got that with donk, and then he stuck that with donk. Or no. Basically Naruto, he's like, he says, you know what? And he gets the tube. He start rubbing, start teasing, and then she started like dripping on the cover. She says, "Naruto, stop." She like squirming her legs, and she says, "Naruto, stop it." And he says, she's like squirming her legs, and Naruto says, "Okay, I'll stop that." And he sticks the tip in, and she says, "Is it all done yet?" And Naruto says, "No, that's just the tip." And she's like, "What the hell do you mean? That's just the tip? That's too big to be just the tip." And he sticks the whole thing in, and she says, and he sees blood come out, and he says, "Kill me if it hurts. Just tell me." And she says, "No, keep going. As it hurts, it stings, or it burns. I don't know what it feels like. It just says it burns." And yeah, basically, after it burns, 2 minutes later, she starts feeling pleasure. He go, "Mac truck deluxe for you, 1,000." And he go, then he basically he ejaculates, and basically she does too, and basically they're kissing, and she put Naruto on his back, and she starts sucking that dangling, what? I mean, she started put that to her tongue. She got licking at my leg, and let's say she got split tongue. Yes, sir. She has split tongues. Basically, that means she has one tongue, but her tongue is split in half. And basically, yeah. So she starts sucking his thing like that, and Naruto, he said, "Let me stop that. If you keep doing that, then I'm gonna." And boom, head. He says, "Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot." And basically after he says that, well, he didn't say that, but that's what happened. That's what really happened. And basically, he says, he's like, Naruto, or no, he, like I said, he boom headshot her stuff, and then she looks the stuff up out of her mouth, And then she kisses Naruto, and Naruto he like, I'm sucking my own dick. Man, she just had her dick in my mouth. Now I'm sucking it. Now she kissing me. Some nasty shit, man. And he said, just go along, just go along. And he started kissing back. And he leaned up against that wall. Her back is on the wall. He, top, 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 top. And basically tear it up right there in all places. And basically, yeah, basically laughing. Take them a shower. And then they go to the bed and they start cuddling each other. I want to start a new what if. I want to finish this one though. They start cuddling each other. And Naruto, she's pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant. And Naruto says she doesn't know she's pregnant. Naruto, we do a 2-week time skip, and she still don't know she's pregnant. She keep puking though. But Naruto says, kill me. I know it's not the right time, even though you're sick. But I have to go avenge Madara. Well, I have to go avenge my dad. And after he says I have to go avenge my dad, basically kill me. Kill me says I understand Naruto. And he says, I'm sorry if I'm not here. It might take 1 to 2 years to get there. And he says it might take 1 to 2 years to get there and back. And she says, it's okay, Naruto. Do what you have to do. She still don't know she's pregnant. And she says, she hesitates about telling Naruto that she's pregnant. And she says, well, she don't know. She thinks she's pregnant, but she don't know for sure. She says, Naruto, I have something to tell you. And he says, yeah, what is it? And he says, and he says, what is it, Kiwi? She says, I'm pregnant. And he winds his eye. Wait, no. She didn't say that. She says, Naruto, I don't want you to leave. She's not gonna tell him to. She's not gonna tell him that. She's gonna say, then she says, he says, why? And she says, well, he said, why would he say why? She says, I don't want you to leave. I want us to start a family together. And Naruto says, it's okay, Kiyomi. He kisses her. And he walks out the door and says, I'll be back. Basically, we do a year time skip. He gets there. Then, I'm sorry if it's so plain, but what you want me to say? He was saying guns his way up to the moon. He fights 30 people, fights some more. No. We do a year time skip. He gets to the moon. Then he's in the moon desert. And he comes up into a castle. He said, this must be where the king stays. And he activates all his tails chakra. And basically he busts out that mother. Nah, I'm playing. Basically he goes into he gets all his tail beast form. And basically, yeah. So, yeah. So, basically, Naruto, he says, basically, Naruto, he says, should I? He says, nah. He don't say should I. He says, do not die. He busts in the room to like the king room. Like through the king room. And yeah. So basically he busts through the king room. He punches the guards in the face and kills them. And he kills them. He basically kills the guards like 2 seconds.